So good afternoon, guys. I just wanted to give you a loft date. I figured I would give you at least something to look at while I do so. This is a couple of pure Plona rollers. Very, very old bloodline. The original source of these was originally secured by a couple fanciers ago directly through Stan Plona back in the 1960s before he died. Basically about 1964, 1965, and they've been maintained as a pure line since then, so just kind of something to look at. I've spent the last couple days, a couple chickens racing by, causing chaos. Spent the last couple days preparing ground for the new loft. I don't know if you can see back in the background of the small racing loft, you can see the fence line and an individual coop back there. There was a 10 by 10 loft sitting on that cement slab until about a day and a half ago. I had some hired help in and we pulled that down. It was not a well-designed loft, but it was really, really well built. It took us a lot of effort to pull it down. We kept pulling pieces off and eventually got it so it started moving, and it was falling down precariously toward things it didn't need to hit. So it was a real pain. We had to hook a line onto it and tug it down, and finally got it toppled over and then disassembled, and then we hauled it off to the dump, which was, in hindsight, a mistake. Things are getting really expensive these days. It cost me $150 just to dump a load of 2x4s and a couple old sheets of plywood when it came right down to it. 3 truckloads at 50 odd bucks a whack. So things are getting expensive, but that puts me one step closer to clearing that. I've got a concrete slab back there. It's 24 by 24. My plan is to build a 24-inch long breeding loft back there along the back slab back there by the fence, and then it'll be about 12 feet deep, and then it'll have another wing on this side where the race loft is. You can see it right there's the race loft. Be another wing right there, and I'm gonna race out of that wing is my plan. And right now the birds go out, they go out this side that way, and I'm going to change it around so they go out the other side. I'm going to have a little more space on that side, and I can run the batting cage system that Danza came up with for settling. I'll have enough space to do that on the cement slab and kind of have a big L shape there, and it should be pretty well set up once I'm done. Still a long way to go on that. Got to get all that cleared. We've got most of that loft gone apart from the base, which were big 6x6s. I've got to cut those up, and then we got to start clearing all that stuff and get the slab ready, clean it off good. It's had years of storage and plants growing on it and all kinds of things like that. So it's got a lot of cleaning it needs to do to get it ready. But that's the plan right now. Right now I'm working on more individual pins, get the breeders back going, get some young birds going. Hopefully by the time those young birds are weaned, I'm going to at least have the wing of the new racing loft done, and at least the foundation and at least the base of the side. It's going to have wire or grate floors. I'm not sure which yet. Still not sure because I'm a big dude, so I'm not very trustworthy of walking on plastic grating at day's end. I mean, they're going to clean really well, but I'm kind of concerned about stepping in the wrong place and breaking one. So I may go with wire, like the stuff you use on rabbit cages. I may go that route instead. I haven't decided yet, but basically it'll have a wood floor, but then the wire will sit up over top, and the wire or panels will come off, and I'll be able to clean all the droppings out from the kind of this catch basin is the plan. And I'm going to have basically a pretty big aisleway in there, probably like a 3-foot aisleway in front of the loft compartments. That way I've got a full walk around aisleway through there for storing feed and moving birds around on the floor and things of that nature. And that way birds don't get out of the loft and things of that nature. So I mean, it's going to pretty much, you know, even though it's going to be temporary, because as I've mentioned in the past, I intend to move in the next year, 2 years. I still need to have something that's, you know, I still want it to be what I, you know, very functional and to be everything I want it to be. So, you know, and this is family property. So, I mean, if it's empty here, oh well, it's just going to be empty after the fact. Yeah, maybe I'll have, you know, some relative in the future gets to use it for something. Who knows? But that's kind of what's going on with that. I've got most of the race team back in the loft after the situation with the feral cats. There's still one black widow hen flying around loose. She still won't trap. She's been the biggest problem, but I do have the other one, and then I've got the rest of the race team. There's only 4 of them in the race loft right now, so after I stock the little black widow hen, because she's really one of the last hens I have of that line, I'm going to put her away, and hopefully the other one that's flying around loose away if I can get her. And I'm going to just put them away and stock them. I've still got 2 black widow cocks, and that'll be the core of my black widow family from here out, or basically the adenovirus survivors. That's going to be the plan. And get some young birds, you know, once I get that other loft up and going, get some young birds raised up and get them going. So the club decided here locally, they decided not to race in October. There just wasn't enough interest, not enough birds left. You know, this race course is really tough on people, on birds. And a lot of people, they just don't want to, you know, kind of risk the young birds through a fall racing season. They want to carry them over till next year. So they decided not to race this fall. There just wasn't enough interest. So my intention is to basically get a new batch of young birds up, get some late hatches going, and get them trained as soon as possible, get them on the road, and hopefully get some training under their belt before the really bad weather sets in. And then come next year, late March, early April, get them back on the road, get them out to some distance once the snow melts off the Cascades, and get them out there. Get them out pounding the road. So that's kind of the plan. The only other thing going on, Hoosier activation ended today. If you're flying in Hoosier, today was your last day to pay your fees. Mine are all paid. For a 5-bird team, $3,000. Ouch. That's a lot of money to play the game. But I got that paid. So now we're on to actually racing. My team, I got 5 birds left on the team at Hoosier. They did really well in the trainer today. The one hen that's been doing exceptionally well, she was 10th today. I'm really happy with that. That's 10th out of 3,408 pigeons today. Did really well. Whether the trainers really mean much at all, who knows? You know, it's very short distance. This was only a 45 mile, but she's been there in those top percentages pretty much the whole way. You know, has done really, really well. Has always, you know, consistently kind of been top 15% and occasionally doing really well down there in the top 20, top 30 of birds placing. So now the rubber's going to meet the road, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the team. I think we've got, you know, the birds on the team. I had Frank McLaughlin ship them, and as far as I know, I think Frank is the only person who's ever won Hoosier twice. So it would be interesting for Frank to be able to win Hoosier a 3rd time with one of the ones he sent, and he's pretty high on what he sent. You know, he said these are some of his best, and so far it's, you know, it's certainly proven out to be true, because they really are doing really, really well. So we're going to start seeing, I think, I don't know if they're going to do the first race this coming weekend now that activation is done, or if they still need a few days to kind of deal with the birds that were not activated as far as the buying into them. So needless to say, that's about all that's going on right now. Is Hoosiers coming up. We're hopefully going to be start racing here in the next few days, or this weekend hopefully. And we also get to hopefully see the Little Loft on the Hill birds race this weekend. They were Tom Brasher had to sit them out because of some sort of young bird funk, and he's got them over that, and they've had like 2 weeks to recuperate. So now we get to see what happens. So that is it, guys. Just kind of a very short update. You can take a last look at the Plonas. So that is basically as pure pensum as you can get. Couple steps down from one of the great masters of rollers, the late Stan Plona, who died in 1979. So that is it, guys, for the update. I will see you next time. I'll do some more videos. I'm doing a lot of shifting birds around right now, getting things going. Have a couple more new birds coming in. So that is it. I will see you next time.